Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Venitia and this is your timeless reading for the day, meant to find you when you are ready to hear its message. So it could be about work, it could be about finance, it could be about abundance as well, love, we shall see. I'm going to pick a few cards from this deck and then I'm going to go with some other oracles or tarot as we go. Okay? Please make yourself comfortable. Okay, this is a time for you to get cozy and listen the message of the tarot. But first, coffee. Cheers. Remember, it's not meant to resonate 100%. Okay, so take what resonates and drop the rest that don't. It's as simple as that, and it's okay. Okay, so let's see what are we going to talk about today. Is it going to be about love? Possibly. This one wanted to come up. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, wow. Rivalry. Okay. When you're confronting some kind of dragon here, could be fighting for yourself, and could not be easy. Tough times. Okay. When you really are trying to make your voice heard, but the other one doesn't want to hear it. Okay, there is two dragons fighting with one another here. Okay, so it talks about a tough relationship with someone or a tough situation that you are in when you are facing obstacle and such, and you are doing all that it takes in order to get out of it, but you are so tired to go within that fight. Okay, you just want that fight to be put to rest. Okay, you are so over it. So it could be that someone is trying to confront you all the time and you just have enough. You just like, leave me. I'm having a life of my own here and I don't want to fight you all the time. It's over. It could be that when you are over with someone and that person doesn't want to hear you, but that person wants to retaliate all the time. Come back. And you always have to push that person back. Like, I don't want to go engage in a fight with you because I'm so over it. Okay. And at the back, we've got the woman. So the woman with a very good heart. So you're not the kind to go on a fight just like that. But here it's like you have no choice. Okay, so as much as you're trying to see love in every person that you meet, you're no fool. And with that person, it's always the same story over and over again. Could definitely be about love here because we've got the Two of Cups. So this could be definitely in a relationship. Okay. When one person is aligned and the other one is not, okay? And we've got the Page of Wands. So you could have a message from that person because pages are messengers, okay? Messengers about popping up into your life again, like, hello, how you doing? What's up with your life? And it could start off very cheekily, okay? But that all the time it's the kind of person that doesn't take long before there is a fight or something, Okay, let's see. Page of Wands, okay. That person is looking at the horizon thinking, what if I come back? He's considering his option now, okay? He's looking back at the couple that you were, at the relationship, and he wants to see how you're doing, if it's possible maybe to start something again. But you were so worn out by that person. That person, to you, it's like exhaustion. Because that person, it was always like a battlefield with that person, okay? And you are just drained with that, and you're just like, okay, we were a couple, we are no longer, so bye. But that person wants to send a message and see what if maybe that person will say that he or she has worked on himself, herself, that that person has done maybe some inner work, has a lot of thinking, considering option. Okay, we've got the Ace of Swords. So that person could be very mental energy, He or she has a way with words, can be sometimes very, with those two energies and the fighting card. When he or she fights for the right thing, it is wonderful because that person has a way with words and pointing things out and can be quite relentless, But when that person is engaged into what I would call the wrong fight, that is like fighting with you because he or she wants to, impose his way on you and you fight back, that person can be quite domineering, okay? That person is always, I sense someone very relentless. He always has one battle to engage. He has to have one project in life. He also doesn't revisit the past too much, because he or she has to see his or her flaws. So that person is always on to the next project. Okay, what is next? What is the next thing? So there could be some kind of spirit of adventure with that person. But that person is leaving things not finished because he knows that he has sometimes to make an apology of, and that is not so much the kind that person is. Okay, next. Okay. You've got good potential here when it comes to money and to build a life of your own. Okay? Lots of stability as well. So that person realizes now the place of stability that you offer to that person, your potential. A woman of value. And I sense that this person doesn't want to be alone. He wants to have someone on his side that he can be proud of, and he realizes that you have got a lot of potential in matters of the heart, in matters of managing money, of holding his life possibly together. But your story with that pierced heart, this is loss. Okay, I think that after the breakup, because I sense a distance between the two of you, that you went through a lot of grieving, and you didn't give up on building a life of your own in order to be independent, self-sufficient. And in a way, I think that person admires that and watches you from a distance. Okay, yes. 9 of Cups. Both of you could be very independent now. That person could sometimes avoid going into spiritual thinking, and I sense that there were some excess, possibly indulging in food or drinks in order to not address the problem of the situation. That person also wants to have someone at home. He could be like the person who is always looking for another project, another horizon, but wants someone stable at home. Small interruption here, my cat was sick. Okay, so That person knows that you were such a good couple. Now he realizes that he has not been investing his energy the right way with you, and that he made you suffer a lot. That person also has a lot of pride. He built things, okay? And he wants material security. He wants to enjoy the finest thing in life, but it kind of feels empty because there is a sad woman here, a woman that he could not keep for some reason. And now he's reflecting on all of that. There is a table, there is food, there is drinks, but no one really to share it with, because you are possibly sick and tired of having to fight that person all the time. Okay. The shadow side. Lots of darkness inside of that relationship. It's like when in contact with you, he went through some very dark times for some reason. And he's still dwelling on some situation. His mind is full of what if, and if I had not done this, and if only, and what then and what not. His mind is full of chaos, and he has been projecting certain things on you, and he put you into that chaos, not only emotionally but also materially, I think. Okay, he's going now through some winter time where nothing is very flourishing, you know. He has doomed that relationship. It started all so well with a lot of flirting and everything, and then all of a sudden everything turned into a nightmarish in the situation. What was flourishing was ripped off. And I think that he held you responsible for a lot of things that were actually his own doing. And now, act and consequences, he's paying the price for it. He has lost money at one point. And he also tried to push you into difficulties financially. The illusion card. Okay. That person is making a lot of scenarios in his mind. And when it comes to you, it is now choosing carefully. Am I keeping my distance with that person? Or am I going to listen to its message when that person comes back or is trying something? That person could try to sell you a dream here, you know, saying, I have resolved all these troubles. Now let's try and build and you know, sending you like we could do everything together, and this could be such a dream. The dream that you had one point with him, okay? But you perfectly know that this side of him, this dark side, is going to come back very quickly. It always has. Okay. There could be a child involved here because we have a page again, but this is more like sending, as pages are messages. There could be a message of love here, okay? Maybe trying to know, sending like yeah, a little what if we got back together. Knight of Swords. Again, the fighting. This person can be quite relentless, okay? He's always engaging in some kind of projects. He has a way with words. He can hurt with his words, very much so, okay? And you're not that kind. And we've got the Four of Cups. That person can be very uptight, very engaging into a fight. And then when the fight is over, be very moody, silentious, retreating, being bored with himself and with life. I think this person is kind of projecting all kinds of fantasies on other people around him and throwing like a pity party around him, like no one understands him, everyone is against him, and you know, he has done the things right, but nobody understands him, so he ends up alone, blaming everyone when it was his own doing because of his words and actions. And he could definitely sometimes be so enthusiastic about let's do this, let's do that, you know, and not be very realistic with his goals. So he has been winning quite a few things though, I think, but he never talks about his failure, okay? He shows people the victories, he doesn't show them the failure, but everyone is kind of aware that this guy, because I think it's a man, but reverse the energies if need be. This mind is quite a piece of work, okay? We've got the Six of Wands, so the Victory card. So yeah, it's very up and down. Sometimes he's just down and out, and then he goes back up on the saddle and wants to launch a new project. So it's very relentless, okay? Could be moving as well. This guy could be relocating, could be changing places, okay? He likes to be popular, he likes to be seen, you know, he likes to be cheered on. Yeah, and we've got the Seven of Pentacles. So it could be launching here a new project in a new place, and possibly could send you a message to see if you would agree to go on board with that person, you know. And yet I think he hesitates quite a lot because he knows that you are, you know, very well aware of the hurt that that person has done to you with that Queen and that Three of Swords. You don't want to sell yourself short here. You don't want to sell yourself like at all. So he may try to sell you some kind of dream situation here, but you are just so exhausted because you know that you can build that on your own, and that this person is always going from one project to another, and what you want is to build a stability, and this guy doesn't offer stability, but very relentless. Okay, well, we've got several cards. We've got work, we've got family, and we've got choices. So these are the three topics. You could have worked with that person, or that you worked a lot on yourself. You worked a lot for building your legacy, your family, your stability here. So a lot of things growing, a nice garden, you know, where it's flourishing. And he will make a proposition. But it's like you have made the choice, and there is one road that is not good for you, and you are fully aware of that. But of course, you have your free will, okay? But it's like, to me, you're very well aware that if that person is going on to another project and relocating, it kind of counts on you to bring up all that energy in order to bring abundance, you know, to his project. But you are more like, yeah, I'm all about abundance, and I'm going to build that for myself, okay? I'm not going to let you dim my shine. I'm not going to let you steal my good work, my money, my emotion. I am enough with that. I am done and out. This is how I feel. Please tell me in the comments how you feel. Okay? So don't dim your shine. Remember that. Okay? And don't let that person derail your plans. And listen to yourself, because you are quite drained by that person and drained because of the fighting, which is relentless. Thank you for listening, and bye for now. I see you soon with another timeless reading.